and we're going to start off with the Frontline Changes Report. And for those commanders that have not signed in, please sign in by pressing the like button and the subscribe button. You don't have to register your name because we need to know who is actually in this briefing for security purposes. So we're going to start off with the frontline changes. We have multiple frontline changes over at Avdiivka, Zeleny, Vovchansk, Klishchiivka, Soloviove, Netailove, as well as Soloviove. So we go into the Kharkiv front over at Avdiivka. So I have already mentioned a long time ago that I suspect that this incursion did not happen, and the claim by Ryba that this settlement has been captured by the Russian forces crossing over from Zuralevka cannot be corroborated. So I don't think it happened. And we have the geolocation finally. This geolocated by military summary, and Ukrainian forces are in the eastern part of Avdiivka. This shows that the entire incursion probably has been invalidated, or it never happened, or the Russians have entered and withdrew. So whatever it is, the Ukrainian forces have retaken the entire Avdiivka. So we finally can close a chapter over here in this sector of the front line. So the Avdiivka sector is now closed for business. So the next frontline change is over at Zeleny. So this one is over in the Nekushny sector. This Nekushny, this Zeleny. And there is a geolocation of Ukrainian forces getting hit by Russian artillery or some kind of a drone attack or whatnot. So because the video is a series of attacks, is a combination from artillery strike to drone strikes and whatnot. So as a result, I can't be bothered what kind of strike it is. What I care is that the Ukrainian forces are geolocated there, which means that the front line probably looks a bit more like this, which means that we have some invalidation of the Russian claims, but tentatively the position seems to still looks like the Russians have the position of Zeleny. But we will continue to monitor the situation over at Zeleny. And the next frontline change. So these are the two change that is in favor of the Ukrainians. However, everything else is going to be all red. The next frontline change is over at Vovchansk. So over at the Vovchansk region, there is a geolocation of frontline battles between the Ukrainian and Russian forces. There's some heavy urban battles geolocated within this region here, where the Ukrainian forces are attacking the Russian forces, and basically they are clashing around this area. So this actually extends the Russian front line. This will not affect the Ukrainian front line because this is just showing that there is a gray zone in this area here, marking the front line. So this is an expansion of the Russian front line over in the siege area of Vovchansk. Fighting is very fierce in this area here. So we move on to Klishchiivka over at the Bakhmut front. So we move all the way over here. So over the Bakhmut front at Klishchiivka, we finally have some mapping corroboration, a little bit, is not entirely, of the Russian success over in the Klishchiivka region. However, there is still nothing relating to the full capture of Klishchiivka or Avdiivka, because like I mentioned, the Russian forces need to conquer the entire high ground to secure Klishchiivka, and this frontline change does not affect in Avdiivka as well. So based on the Russian mapping by Ryba, Russian forces have taken this tree line around here, and this confirmed the Russian forces have taken everything south of Klishchiivka, not south, east and southeast of Klishchiivka. So this actually will change the front line to make the front line look a bit like this, with the Russian forces taking everything here. So this to and fro around this area, so many soldiers have died in this battle for Klishchiivka. From the beginning, where the Wagner forces, leading the Russian troops, and those prison turned soldiers to attack Klishchiivka, conquer it from the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians counter-attack, taking it back from the Russians. Then now the Russians taking it back. So many people died for this stupid town, but it is what it is. So this war, war can sometimes be very stupid. So anyway, this is the frontline change over at Klishchiivka. The next frontline change is over at Avdiivka, over at Soloviove. So at Soloviove, here over this location in the northern part of the Avdiivka front. So this Avdiivka city, this is the northern part of the Avdiivka front. At Soloviove, the Russian forces have expanded their control and definitely have created some kind of a buffer zone around Soloviove, with the Russian forces taking a lot of grounds, moving towards Novoporovsky. So this is quite a lot of change if you ask me. And some people ask me about the distance. This distance is around 1 kilometer, from the front line. This is around 1.2 kilometers. And this stretching here around half a kilometer. So I noticed that the mapping that you can see on the Defense Politics Asia's website, or this Google My Maps, you can actually do measurements of distance. So I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do about it, because I can't really do anything with the Google My Maps. I did custom built a mapping app based on the Google Map API, not the app. But I did previously do that, but it does add a lot of work, and you can't really see the previous mappings. So the best is still using Google My Maps for now. Just make do for it. So it is what it is for now. And so the next frontline change is over at Netailove. Further south, there is a geolocation of Russian forces continue their expansion of their buffer zone around Netailove. So Russian forces continue to make advances. The Ukrainians seems to be not around here. They are slowly moving, because even if the Ukrainian forces are not around, they can't move quickly because of minings, booby traps and whatnot. So it's very, very dangerous, to move quickly in the front line. So the next frontline change after Netailove is Solotke. So Solotke is over here. This Solotke and this Vodian. The Russian forces are attacking from the Solotke direction towards Vodian. And there is a geolocation of Russian forces storming this tree line. They are attacking this area, so resulting in some frontline changes in this area towards Vodian. So this is just another small step towards Vodian. The Russians take a long time to make this progress, but this is just a lot of distance. The distance between Solotke to Vodian is 13 kilometers. So if you walk, also it's going to take a couple of hours to reach there if you walk. So it is not going to be a easy way to reach there. So that's all for the Frontline Changes Report. And for those that want to use to see this mapping, as I mentioned earlier, you can find it in the defensepoliticsasia.com website /Ukraine on the Ukraine page. And press the like button and subscribe. And and share. Because the algorithm is broken, so help me share, because there's no way, there's nothing I can do about it, because algorithm is so important on YouTube. So if the algo is broken, it doesn't share the video, there's very little I can do. So the best thing I can do is just ask you to help me share this report. And to people who are interested. To people who are not interested, I think they will just ignore it anyway. But you can just spam. It's okay, no problem. So we're going to go to the strategy and tactical reporting.